I'm Alina, a member of the League of Women Voters of Kitsap. The League of Women Voters does not support or oppose candidates, but works to provide information about the candidates and issues before the voters. We are interviewing candidates that will appear on your general election ballot, which you should receive in the mail around mid-October. We'll be asking 5 questions. The candidates will have 90 seconds to answer each question. Let's get to know Linda Osborn Simpson, who is running for the office of Bremerton School Board Director. Linda, you'll have 90 seconds to make an opening statement.
Hi. Understanding why students disengage or graduate unprepared is critical to reshaping the system into one that genuinely supports every student's definition of success. Too often, we focus on graduation as the end goal without asking whether students leave school equipped to build the life they envision for themselves. Many students leave because they don't see a clear connection between what they're learning and the real world. Others feel school only supports one path, usually a 4-year college, when in reality, not every student thrives in that model. That's why the work of the Micro Works Foundation is so valuable. It challenges outdated stigmas around skilled labor and emphasizes that trade jobs are not second tier. They're often high paying, meaningful, and deeply aligned with individual passions and talents. Since their inception in 2008, they've granted $16 million in work ethics scholarships from their website. Today, the skills gap is wider than it's ever been. Student loan debt includes 45 million borrowers who collectively owe more than $1.7 trillion. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are more than 7.6 million jobs available across the country, the majority of which don't require a 4-year degree. To move forward, we need to embed these values into our schools, presenting multiple pathways to success, exposing students early to careers in the trades, and celebrating all forms of hard, honest work. This isn't just about filling jobs, it's about dignity, purpose, and ensuring students leave school ready to thrive on their own terms. For more information, visit microworks.org.
Thank you, Linda. Now, on to our first question. What are the educational strengths of Bremerton School District, and what are the educational gaps and weaknesses? And what ideas do you have for improving performance?
Bremerton School District offers strong programs like West Sound Technical Skills Center, AVID, Running Start, the Highly Capable Program, and a special education program whose IEP approach could benefit all students. However, the most glaring gap is that too many students graduate without the skills needed to pursue their goals. While recent OSPI data shows some improvement, 59.5% on grade level in ELA, 31.4% in math, and 45.5% in science. These scores highlight how far we still need to go. Graduation should reflect true readiness, not just a completed checklist. To improve student outcomes, we must identify where learning loss begins and why. While elementary scores are relatively stronger, 62.7 ELA, 57.9% in math, 68.2% in science. Performance declines in middle school, but rebounds slightly in high school, except in math. This trend suggests early warning signs are being missed. We should expose elementary students to career paths beyond college, including field trips to the Skills Center, and begin reversing the false belief that 4-year degrees are the only path to success. We must also be willing to make bold changes, such as allowing students to repeat grades if they're not at level, or even eliminating grade levels altogether in favor of grouping students by learning needs. Avoiding these hard conversations risks long-term damage to students' confidence and future prospects.
Thank you, Linda. We'll move on to question 2. A district's annual budget shows the board's commitment towards fulfilling the goals of the instructional program and providing for the efficient and effective operation of the district. Regarding the district's budget process, what strategies do you suggest to address any deficits faced in the future, especially related to declines in student enrollment or loss of federal funding?
To address future budget deficits, Bremerton School District must take immediate action to stabilize finances while protecting the classroom. This includes freezing non-essential hiring, reducing non-staff operational costs, and carefully managing staff attrition. Maximizing existing levy dollars and aggressively pursuing available grants, especially for CTE, mental health, and special education, will be essential. These short-term steps could close significant gaps without directly impacting student learning. Looking ahead, The district should invest in strategies that grow enrollment and increase long-term sustainability. This includes launching a targeted outreach campaign to bring back students, expanding programs like West Sound Tech and AVID, and auditing all programs to prioritize those with the highest return on investment. Operational efficiencies, such as shared staffing, optimizing facility use, and aligning staffing with enrollment, should also be explored. These moves would position Bremerton to respond flexibly to continued funding challenges. Finally, structural transformation is key. The district could pilot competency-based learning environments that group students by skill level and promote IEP-style personalized learning as a universal model. By rebranding schools around real-world readiness and career-connected learning, Bremerton can attract students and funding. Combined with proactive financial forecasting and strong advocacy for fair state funding formulas, these strategies can protect Bremerton from future volatility while advancing its educational mission.
Thank you. All right, moving on to question 3, which is about metrics. Against which metrics will you assess district leadership's attainment of key goals, and how will you know when a program or decision has been successful?
To evaluate Bremerton School District leadership success, we must look at measurable progress in student achievement, enrollment, and program effectiveness. Key academic metrics include improvements in standardized test scores, grade level readiness, and graduation rates. Success should also reflect increased participation in programs like AVID, West Sound Tech, Running Start, and the Highly Capable program, along with stronger support for students with IEPs. Financial leadership will be measured by the ability to maintain balanced budgets, responsibly manage reserves, and secure outside funding through grants and levies. Improved enrollment and retention, particularly from students returning from homeschooling or private schools, will indicate restored trust and relevance of district programs. Efficient use of resources, staffing aligned to enrollment, and cost-saving innovations will further demonstrate fiscal responsibility. Finally, strong leadership will be evident in community confidence and transparent decision-making. This includes clear communication, regular progress updates tied to goals, and increased engagement from families, staff, and local partners. A successful program or decision will show measurable impact, receive positive feedback from stakeholders, and demonstrate long-term sustainability beyond its initial implementation.
Thank you so much. So moving on, question number 4. The role of a public school district board of directors is to govern by setting policies and making decisions that shape the education of students. What are some of the key responsibilities of a school director that support successful governance of a public school system?
School directors are responsible for setting the vision and policy direction of the school district. They help define long-term goals and ensure that policies align with educational standards, legal requirements, and the needs of students and families. This includes decisions related to curriculum, student achievement, school safety, and quality of opportunity, not a guarantee of outcome. Another key responsibility is fiscal oversight. School directors review and approve the annual budget, ensure public funds are used efficiently and transparently. They must monitor spending, support long-term financial planning, and make sure resources are aligned with student learning priorities. Oversight also includes hiring and evaluating the superintendent who manages the district's daily operations. Finally, school directors serve as a vital link between the district and the community. They listen to concerns, represent a diverse range of voices, and promote open communication between families, staff, and leadership. Successful governance depends on building public trust, fostering student independence and self-reliance, and nurturing a deep appreciation and respect for the rich heritage of our blended community, all while making decisions that put students first.
Great, thank you so much. So we just have one final question. We've covered a lot of ground. The final question is, what strategies would you employ to foster a positive and inclusive school climate where diversity is celebrated and students feel safe and respected?
To foster a positive school climate where students feel safe and respected, a clear and consistent foundation of mutual respect is essential. A strong starting point is teaching and modeling the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. This simple principle reinforces accountability, kindness, and personal responsibility in daily interactions among students, staff, and school leadership. Establishing school-wide expectations around behavior, supported by clear, concise rules that reflect our shared societal norms and consistent consequences, helps create a respectful environment. By emphasizing the common values we share as a community, we can reinforce the ideals and principles that unite us. Staff should be equipped with training focused on building strong, respectful relationships with students and effectively de-escalating conflict. When expectations are clearly communicated and fairly applied, students are more likely to mirror that fairness and respect in their own actions. School safety must extend beyond routine emergency drills. It should include firm anti-bullying policies, consistent enforcement, and open lines of communication with families. A physically safe environment supported by clean, well-maintained facilities and a visible adult presence reinforces emotional security and school pride. These elements help create a setting where students feel safe to focus, engage, and grow. When the golden rule is at the heart of school culture, treating others as we wish to be treated, students are more likely to act with integrity, show respect, and carry
Thank you,
themselves
Linda.
with dignity.
That's all of our time. I know it's a huge topic for 90 seconds. So thank you to Linda Osborn Simpson for running for office and for sharing your views with us today. I am Alina on behalf of the League of Women Voters of Kitsap. Thanks for watching. Please share this video. If you want to help with the work that we're doing, consider joining the League of Women Voters at lwv.org. And don't forget to return your ballot no later than 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 4th.